Hello again. I dare say that none of you have heard before of the Centre for Hate Studies at the University of Leicestershire. It sounds like something which I might have dreamt up for fun when I had nothing better to do with my time. However, it really is a place, and in the description to this video I give a link to their website. We learn that the Centre for Hate Studies is renowned for its pioneering research on issues of hate and extremism. As well as undertaking large-scale studies, we are also regularly commissioned by organisations within the public, private and third sector to conduct smaller, tailored pieces of research. It is in fact a nice little earner because of those commissions to find hatred and prejudice where perhaps none actually exists. Well, I suppose it's a job, and who am I to criticise others for how they choose to earn a living? After the Black Lives Matter business in 2020, the Leverhulme Trust, the big company behind Unilever, promised that it would help rid the world of the systemic injustices of racism. An ambitious project, to be sure, but I dare say a well-meaning one. As part of this project, the Leverhulme Trust has commissioned the Centre for Hate Studies to, and I quote, explore the lived realities of those encountering racism within the English countryside. They want to hear about the racism experienced by ethnic minority hikers and also how rural racism is expressed. The trigger for all this was a survey in 2019 which found that only 1% of visitors to England's national parks belong to ethnic minorities. I have talked about this before, of course. One of the points is that many black people, as well as those of Pakistani and Bangladeshi heritage, have lower average incomes than white people and do not actually have the leisure to wander aimlessly about the countryside. They're too busy earning money so that they can survive. Even those who can afford to do so often see little point in the activity. There is not a shred of evidence to suggest that they are being deterred by racism. I honestly don't see how this could be so. I do an awful lot of walking in the countryside, and on an average day spent in this pursuit, I speak to precisely nobody. I just walk along country lanes and across footpaths. I might nod to people as I pass, but that's it. I have no idea and little interest in how they feel about me. I simply don't care. I'm there to look around the countryside. It's not a social activity. Unless it is being suggested that farmers are likely to set their dogs on black hikers, or people in village shops are refusing to serve Muslims, then I honestly cannot imagine how it would even be possible to display racial prejudice. It may well be true that some black people and nations regard the countryside as being exclusively white and English, and there is research to suggest that that is the case, but this says more about their own prejudices, I think, than it does about the countryside. What is stopping any black person in London from getting the tube to Epping Forest and then walking around the country lanes as I do? I've no idea what it would be preventing that. Still, I suppose that if you are running a centre for hate studies, you must justify your existence somehow and bring in the money. I would be prepared to take a bet, even before this research is conducted, that Professor Chakrabarty, who is the director there, will unearth some spine-chilling tales of prejudice and, who knows, even some microaggressions. If your job entails studying hate, then you will need to persuade people that there's plenty of hatred about. Otherwise, you might find yourself out of a job and having to close your department down.